Hey, what's up, guys? This is Mansplaining Mike with the Mansplaining Mike Show, and today we have another Diddler episode. What we're going to do on this episode is a little different from previous episodes. There's a 40-minute video of a lady accusing Diddy of molesting and raping her and trafficking her. Now, everybody is saying that this is a lie, of course. I mean, the people on Diddy's side are saying it's a lie, and I've caught a couple lies in the video as well. And I'll go through those as we continue. But one of the lies I'm going to tell you about is she tries to say that Donald Trump was at these parties. I really doubt that Donald Trump was at these parties. I'm going to show you proof as to why as we keep going on. But we're just going to respond to one video or react to one video. And then after we react to that video, I'm going to close it out. There'll be more Diddy episodes coming out this week. I have a ton of information. As you can see up here on the top of the screen, these are all videos for a Diddy show. I just didn't realize this first one we were going to watch was 40 minutes long. So I'll probably come back tomorrow with another Diddy episode or the day after, because I have some more stuff I want to do besides talk about celebrities on my show. This isn't really like a celebrity gossip channel or anything like that. I try to keep it aimed at news coverage and politics. But anyway, guys, let's get into this. This is Adria English, and she's talking about how she was raped and molested at these parties. And she actually says she was sex trafficked too. So let's see what she has to say with these accusations.
Celebrities running on me, including certain people that are presidential.
Now peeps, I sat down today for a super exclusive interview with one of Diddy's accusers, Adria English. She's been in the media a lot lately with serious allegations against Sean Diddy Combs, accusing him of despicable and horrendous acts. The disgraced mogul is currently in custody, housed at Brooklyn MDC, one of the most notorious prisons in the US that was also the home of Epstein, where he was mysteriously taken out. Now this is an interview that you don't want to miss. She revealed the dark secrets of working for Diddy, the feds telling her she was found on tapes with famous politicians, Diddy having threesomes with his mom, and more. Be prepared to be floored, and make sure you watch this whole entire video.
It's important to realize these are just accusations. Everything that's said isn't been proven to be true, but I do believe that part about Diddy and his mama. Just wanted to tell you guys that. I've seen videos of them kissing in the mouth. That stuff is strange.
How did you initially come in contact with Diddy?
Okay, it's a cute story. I'm from California. Prior, I had never been on the East Coast in my entire life. I had never been to Florida. I had never been to New York, nowhere on the East Coast. And a guy I was dating, Anthony Gallo, he's from Cali. We were both from Cali. He got an opportunity. He got scouted by a guy in LA who was a reputable scouting agent. It was initially Wilhelmina Models. And so they gave him the opportunity to come to New York for an audition. When he went out there, he ended up getting a lot of callbacks, but he was back in LA. And they said, well, you know, you're getting all these callbacks, but if you're going to model for real, we need you out here. So he had never been on the East Coast either. So he was like, and at this time, my family had found out that I had did adult movies. Now, mind you, I had an ex-boyfriend, Jake Steed. He was my boyfriend at first, and he manipulated me into the adult film industry. I only did 8 movies in a 6-month period of my life in the year 1999, but those 8 movies in 6 months follow me to this day. And I signed a residual contract, and Jake Steed been collecting all the money. He done put me on Pornhub. I'm everywhere. And they said he hiding out in South America. He been collecting my money the last 20-some years. I'm the one that gave Ray J and Kim Kardashian to connect. If you look at the production team, you can see we have the same production team. You see mine was filmed first. Me, Ray J, Brandy, we all grew up in the same church, the Church of Christ. Brother Norwood, their father is my vocal coach. So that's how we already knew each other. But they got famous.
That's a church I wouldn't go to if I was y'all. They put out a lot of deviants at that church.
With theirs because Kim Kardashian had a little bigger of a name because of her dad. So when Anthony got scouted, we ended up, my family had found some member of our church. My church from 9 years old had found out I did adult movies. They brought it to the minister, who brought it to my parents. And when I came home from work, I was working as a telemetry technician in the critical care unit at Hoag Hospital in Newport Beach. And when I came home from my shift, my parents had it on the big screen. Me with a it in my mouth.
No. Your parents had that on there?
The valedictorian, literally. The sheltered one from the suburbs who had never even had sex before in their knowledge. You know, the innocent one, their love child on the big screen with it. So when I shame my family like that,
What was that like walking into there and seeing that on the screen?
it was the worst day of my life. I still feel the memory, and it haunts me the same way Diddy haunts me to this day. I can still remember the way I felt, how my parents looked at me, you know. And then so when Anthony got the opportunity to move to New York, I was like, man, hell yeah, because I did the movies in 99, but they didn't find out until 2004. And that was the same time Anthony got asked to move to New York. So I said, man, I'm going with you. And then when we got out there, Anthony was going to go see whatever. He ended up getting an audition with Ford Models, and then Ford signed him. That was Cassie Ventura's same agency. And so we were from Cali, and we had an apartment in the middle of Manhattan. So all the models in between their go-sees and their auditions would come hang out at our apartment. And we had the weed, and that's when weed was hella illegal. So we was from Cali, we had the weed. Anthony looked good. I was working at Larry Flynt's Hustler Club, so I was already the hottest stripper because Manhattan is only 11 miles, about 13 miles. I'm from Cali, the West Coast. All the East Coast people grew up together. They don't know me and Anthony.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but before we get too much further into this, I mean, just listening to the lifestyle that she had been living previous to meeting Sean Combs. I'm going to just call him that. I don't like his nickname. But previous to meeting Sean Combs, she was already doing this type of stuff. So it's almost like I would say maybe she volunteered for it in a way. I'm not saying it to be raped if she ended up being raped or anything like that. But hear me out. She was already doing movies, whoring herself out for money. So why would it be surprising if she continued to whore herself out for money to celebrities? I'm just saying. Doesn't make sense
to me like that. So they're intrigued. I look good, he look good. It's 20 years earlier. I'm 46 right now. I'll be 47 in January. So imagine me in my 20s, you know what I'm saying? Body was extra banging, and even now everything's real, butt real, lips real, nose real. I've never had a million behind me, so just imagine that.
So tell us a little bit more about how you guys actually got into doing these Diddy parties and him propositioning your dude.
Anthony is signed to Ford Models. Cassie is coming over to our apartment, hanging out. We're all friends. We actually started.
Oh, you was hanging out with Cassie?
Yeah, she would come over our apartment too, because her and Anthony were both signed to Ford Models. We were convenient right there in the middle of the city. So in between your auditions, your casting, you would come smoke weed and hang out at the bomb couple from the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? We had the doorman building. We was popping, and so we all had our own private stories of, because you know, East Coast music was a soundtrack to our lives. You know, from the West Coast, like we was fans of everybody: Mary J. Blige, Biggie, 112, Craig Mack, Mace. You know, Black Rob. You know, Dirty Money, Diddy. You know, everybody. You know. Lil' Kim, shout out to Lil' Kim. I got to meet her with T-Pain. She was very nice. She was very nice to me. So when we got there, we all had our own, like, when me and Anthony got there, we had our own vision of what we would do if we ever met these certain people, Jay-Z, Diddy, and all that. And then Cassie did too. Her and Anthony were inspiring models. And Cassie wanted to sing and stuff. Anthony, he just more wanted to model, smoke weed, look good, get his dick sucked type shit. Cassie, she wanted to model, but she wanted to sing. She wanted to be an entertainer. And so we all had dreams to meet Diddy. So then, fast forward, Anthony ends up getting called to audition for Diddy for the Sean John campaign. So he never invites me along to his auditions or his go-sees, but this particular day he invited me because he knew I was a fan. Like, he knew I was going to be mad he went to the damn thing and you didn't take me, you know what I mean? Because I you know, wanted to meet people and stuff. I was already a dancer. I was already moving and shaking. I already had a gang of athletes and whatever, but the music industry, because I rap and sing, that's where I wanted to get into.
What do you think she meant by that? She already had a bunch of athletes and stuff like the celebrities. What does that mean? Do you think that means she was already sleeping with them? I'm just asking because I'm curious to figure out, like, is this lady's accusations really truthful? And I know Diddy is guilty of a lot of shit. But what I'm saying is this lady, like, the story she's telling, it just makes her seem unbelievable in a lot of ways. Not that the story is so unbelievably great, but it's so unbelievable. Like, it just doesn't seem believable. She's like bragging that she was selling herself. She was bragging that she was a stripper. But then she supposedly didn't want to go to these parties and do all this, even though she just said she had a bunch of celebrities, whatever that means.
So, long story short, we sitting in the waiting room, and one of his homeboys that frequents our apartment comes out of the thing, and he's looking mad, like, shh. And so low key, me and Anthony laughing. We like, he must not have booked it. Like, he's salty. Like, we laughing to each other, like, you know. And then they called him. And then when they called him, I'm like, yeah, you got this, my nigga. Like, you know, I'm dapping on you. Got it. And then that's when two-way pages was out. So when they called, I flipped my two-way up. So I'm on my two-way lining up some money for later on. All of a sudden, I just hear, man, fuck that. And the door that flew up, and it was, I'm like, what? And like, Anthony is a very good looking guy. His mother is, you know, African American black lady, and his father is an Italian man. And actually, the wine, Gallo wine, that's his family. And allegedly, his dad got like basically shunned from his family for choosing up on a black woman. And he went on to have a few kids, and all of them are boys, and they're all very good looking guys. But his dad chose to be poor to follow his heart and be with a black woman. And so allegedly
he chose to be poor to be. Why would you have to be poor to be with any colored woman? This is just a confusing story so far, guys.
His dad still to this day rides a bike in Northern California. He's from Northern California. He had moved down to LA. And so even though he was a good looking guy mixed with black and Italian, he wasn't no punk. Like, it wasn't no gay in him. It wasn't no, you know, bitch in him. Like, he was like a thug, but he a pretty boy. So, like, I guess they underestimated him, thinking that because he was so good looking that he go that way. So he was more than offended. He was on some gangster shit. Like, he got me fucked up. So when we were in the elevator, I was like, man, what happened? He was like, man, like, he gave me that look like, man, shut the f-. And I was like, all right, because it was people in the elevator. So I was like, all right. So when we got, you know, out the elevator, I'm like, what's up? I'm like, why you tripping? He was like, man, nigga asked me to suck his dick. I said, who asked you to suck his dick? He said, Puffy. We was calling him Puffy back then. Puff. Well, I said, no, he didn't. And
I believe that part just because we know that Diddy is sissy. Like, that's not surprising. So that part seems real.
Broke my heart, broke an arm, and I was like, nah. And he was like, he asked me to suck his dick. I was like, oh. I was like, well, then I see why, you know what I mean? For sure. Like, it's a rap. That he's like, I don't need that job. That's fucking bad. So I was like, for sure. You know what I mean? We got in the cab. We went back to our apartment. His homeboy ended up coming through. We smoked blunts. We laughed at it. We was like, that, you know what I mean? But then, because I was a dancer, I'm also in the regular go-go club scene. And I ran into Tamiko Thomas, who ended up being, I call her a handler, one of Diddy's handlers, wranglers. And she approached me with opportunity to help me and Anthony out. If I would dance at Diddy's white parties, Anthony can go ahead and book the campaign. I agreed to dance at the white parties. Anthony booked the Sean John campaign. He was everywhere. He was on billboards, buses, bus stops, cabs, in the magazine, all at the same damn time. He was everywhere. But right now, if you go and try to Google any one picture of that Sean John campaign, Diddy done scrubbed it all. I can't even hardly find a picture.
Now, did Diddy remember him whenever he eventually got that gig? Was he like, oh yeah, I remember you?
Yeah, because when he booked it, after they had like a lounge party where it was like a celebration, like, hey, the new campaign, let's all, and it was a very small lounge, like only the models was there, the, you know, creative director, the photographer, Diddy, you know, a couple other people, and that's it. And so you went over it. So it was kind of like, thank you for letting your girl work my parties, you know what I mean? You know, you came out great, my nigga. You know, he didn't say my nigga, he said, you came out. What did he say? You came out great, my guy. You're killing it, baby. You killing it. You know what I mean? So he basically tried to like go over the fact that he had asked him to suck his, because he tried him and he didn't fall for it. So he felt stupid. He didn't know he was that thug. You know.
So
I'm sorry, as a grown man, if somebody asked me to suck their meat, I wouldn't be at their party later. It wouldn't matter how much money I was offered or any of that. Like, that's insane to me. This man just disrespected you and asked you to suck his Johnson, and then you're gonna go hang out and party with him because your girl got a job. Like, why would your girl be looking for a job with the guy like that?
What was your reaction to that? I know you both of you guys were upset, but were you thinking like, damn, ain't no Diddy was like this? Were you guys shocked when that happened?
I was, because I had been an ex, porn star, and I was currently an exotic dancer. For me, it was regular scheduled programming. Like, it's just what rich people with money do. Like, he tried it. He wanted to see, you know what I mean? To me, it was more funny, but Anthony took more offense. Like, no, like, he got me fucked up. So I had let it go. I was over it. When they asked me to work the parties, I was like, hell yeah, I would have did that shit damn near for free. You know what I mean? Just for the networking. I was a groupie at that point. And I didn't realize how pretty I was. I didn't realize they looked at me like that.
So she calling herself a groupie. And that's what groupies do. They go to these parties and they have sex. So I'm not quite sure that she can call herself a victim in that sense. But I'm still willing to listen to it all. I mean, there is a possibility that she was victimized still. But what I'm saying is, it seems like, to me anyway, that she was expecting this type of stuff.
And I extra didn't know that Diddy had gotten word of my former career in the adult entertainment industry, that I was manipulated into by an ex-boyfriend that I only did for 6 months out of my life, that I wasn't trying, I didn't have aspirations to be a P star, none of that. I got manipulated into it so somebody could basically get my residuals and be basically caking off of me the last 20 plus years. I was very sheltered, naive. My parents were from LA, and so they raised me in the suburbs because they didn't want me to experience anything they saw growing up in the hood. And so when I went to Long Beach State and they put me in the co-ed dorms, to the left were the athletes and to the right were the girls who were stripping to get through school, because they were all from LA, Compton, and Long Beach. I'm from Chino, California, a little nerdy girl with valedictorian. So when they were stripping to get through college, I kicked it with them. And that's how I ended up with Jake Steed. And he saw the innocence and naiveness in me. He got me to do their movies. And then when Diddy found out about it, they used that against me. And then he viewed me as somebody that was sexually exploited, worthy. And yeah.
Look, if she grew up in a good household, was going to church, she knew that this stuff wasn't the lifestyle for her, or it shouldn't have been. So the fact that she grew up and had privilege and had all that stuff makes the story even worse to me. Because now we know that you had other options and you still chose to go that way. You didn't have to sleep with other men so some guy will love you. That doesn't even make sense, that you were manipulated to sleep with men for money. I mean, all I want is for the story to make sense. I'm not saying she's lying about the Diddy aspect of it. We haven't really gotten to that yet. But, I mean, just from what she's been saying, she was into this type of lifestyle anyway. It wasn't even something she seemed to have to be talked into.
And he played on my heart. It's called coercion of the heart. When I told him that I rap and I sang, and he said I was dope. And he said he was going to bring me and I had a girl group out. Like, I'm the Beyonce of my group. They even told you that I was the dopest one. And it's called coercion of the heart. And he played on the fact that he knew I liked to rap, sing, and perform. And that's why he would bring me back year after year saying, you're getting closer, like initiation, you're getting closer. But it never happened. But he kept making me, sexually perform while he was wheeling and dealing and, getting jewelry from Jacob the Jeweler, cutting a deal with this person, recording me and him over there so he can extort that person out of woo-woo. We all didn't know, but he had a plan the whole time. And that's why he made people sign NDAs that said, you can't talk about what we went through until 20 years after I died. But I never signed that. Aubrey O'Day and Danity Kane and them, they got hit with that. I was already out the game. I was done from 2004 to 2009. By the time he was running around with them, I was already, on the way out.
So if I understand correctly, so basically he had you setting up people, man. Some of his high profile people, he had you go over there so he can get video of certain...
No, he wouldn't say go over there so I can get video. He would hire me to work as a go-go dancer. They had 3 stages, positioned throughout his mansion. It was where he lived. It was his residence. It wasn't a club. It wasn't a lounge. And so it just makeshift stages, you know, 3 stages set up in his house, like for us to be checkpoints. Like my stage was over by the bar, you know, Tamiko's stage was over by the food, you know, old girl's checkpoint was over there by the rooms if you wanted to go do something. So it's like, I think he kind of told the guests, hey, if you want to drink, just look for a stage and you're going to find something you need. You know what I mean? So we were elevated above the crowd. And so, we were instructed to only drink from certain liquor bottles. It's the girls' champagne, it's the guys' champagne. Girls don't drink the guys' champagne. Girls don't drink the boys' champagne. And all the champagne was laced with ketamine, like horse tranquilizer, ecstasy. That's not allegedly. We were all doped up. And to this day, I believe we all, and I know I do, have a chemical imbalance. Like whenever I drink anything, it could be 1 glass of wine, all of a sudden I'm
that part I believe, because it's been coming out that that's what he did. So this part is believable.
I'm a stripper, I'm a P-star, like on my mind, I just black out and I'm that. I'm She Diddy.
Oh, wow.
You know, Orlando Brown running around like I'm Puff. He not really act like it to everybody else. Everybody looking like he want attention, like he wilding, like, but it's something about when he drugged.
Man, he got raped.
You that he stood over you, like infusing himself into you while you laid there unconscious, and it's like it became a part of you, because after a certain amount, they started calling me She Diddy. They're like, man, she act like Diddy. She just like Diddy, and hence I've been She Diddy for the last 20 years. So I feel Orlando when he be like, man, I'm Puff. Nice to meet you, I'm Puff. Because when we get faded, like, it's like he come out in us, like, and that's forever. That's why it's haunting us to this day.
How do you think he was able to, you know, but besides all the things you guys were laced with, you think he put maybe his DNA or something kind of strange into that concoction?
Yeah, the reason why he like to take, we have a chakra in our anus, guys and girls, and your chakra is a pathway to your soul. So because he's working for Lucifer, his goal is to take souls to hell. So that's why straight men, he wanted to turn them gay. Even if a gay man was gay, he wanted to make him be a pedophile and be with a minor. His thing was to take the soul. So that's why after a certain amount of time, he would make an announcement like, you better go on home because, the party really about to crack now. And all of a sudden, everybody's demon would come out. And that's on God. Like, have you ever gotten, like, so faded or drunk where your body is doing stuff, but in the morning you have literally no recollection? Like, if it ain't from your homeboy showing you it, like, man, I recorded you, nigga. If it wasn't for him showing you, you would swear up and down you didn't do that shit. But then when he show you the video,
that's just being drunk, like, out of your mind.
Like, what the? I jumped in the pool. I don't even know how to swim, my nigga. What? Like, I don't even remember that bitch. Like, what? It was like that.
That's that blackout drinking.
Right,
you don't
but he
remember
had
anything.
imagine everybody blacked out though. It doesn't matter if you a celebrity or. That's why J-Lo left the country. He had her sticking bottles and stuff up in my homegirl. She was only 11 years old. She the girl that they put on the private jet. They her with the jet.
She saw that though. So why didn't she report it? She saw it. Why didn't she go tell on him? That makes her guilty too. Guilt by association.
Jelly beans.
Oh, and I believe that too. I believe he molested that 11-year-old girl.
They put on the private jet. They took her to the studio in New York and then had the nerve to dress her up in a D&G sweater, do her hair, put makeup on her, and take a picture like a trophy. She only 11 years old in that picture, and that's not allegedly. And then the same girl...
J-Lo was messing around with...
Man, there's so many. I drop names on the neck. Man, we talking about Diddy right now. But it's, yeah. And then that's the same girl that in the magazine is laying on the table butt naked with fruit and food and stuff off of her. And we all eating off of her. I sucked the strawberry off her. She 14 years old.
She should be in jail then. She's a pedophile. You sucked the strawberry off a naked little girl body.
Laying on that table, she had a body like a grown woman. You don't think anybody's looking at that thinking that's a kid laying there. You're assuming it's a grown woman. So he made everybody be with a minor, against your will, and he recording the shit. Same girl.
That wasn't against her will. She knew that girl's age.
Needed to do a number 2 on stage. She performing. She told him, I need to go off stage. I need you to bathroom. He told her no. She ended up shit on stage. It was a wet. went everywhere, and Denzel Washington grabbed up his wife, mobbed up to Diddy, and was like, "Man, you don't respect nobody." And had to run up out there. That's the incident they're talking about with Denzel Washington had to run up out of there.
So that's why Denzel and his wife left that party, because of that
And
instance.
she
Right?
shit on stage, and she was only 14 years. He didn't know she was 14. It was just the fact that she shit on stage and in front of everybody. And then Diddy took her to a room and beat her ass because she shit on stage. Then he would only give her water baths and not let her wash with soap. I'm gonna say allegedly because she's still Jane Doe right now. I'm gonna say allegedly. You know what I mean? It's allegedly. But she wants a DNA on 2 of his kids because they took 2 babies out of her. They kept her locked up and they had her babies at the house. The 2 babies
I can believe that too. They seem like some sick people like that.
they took out of her stomach. That's not allegedly.
Damn.
And allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly, she had a 3 with Diddy and his own mama / auntie, and she had a 3 with Nelly and Diddy. That's not alleged.
No.
Allegedly. Sorry, Ashanti. I love you, Ashanti. Congratulations on the baby. I love y'all together. It was 20 years ago. Don't get mad at 20. We talking about 20 years ago. Don't get emotional. We just telling our truth, people. Please don't get mad. It's some of y'all's favorites. It's gonna kill y'all. It's gonna devastate y'all when you hear the names involved, because we all grew up on these people. We all love these people. We'd have never thought these people would have been involved in the things that they're involved in. We're just telling our truths, everybody, and it was 20 years ago. So please don't judge us or say we lying. We're being nice enough to let y'all know what's going on from an insider point of view. If you were not even there, don't tell somebody they lying when you weren't even there.
Big facts. And fans love to say, that people are capping or people are just coming up with stories. Now hold on, before we move forward, I'm still stuck on.
I just want to say, I believe everything she said so far. It's nothing that she said that I don't believe. I just don't believe that she wasn't in on doing this stuff because it was her lifestyle already.
Yeah, Diddy and his mom and his auntie,
No, Diddy's mom is really his auntie, has been claiming to be his mom this whole time. She's the one with the white nails. That's why he has that fetish. She's been picking him since he was adolescent because his daddy got killed when he was a baby. As soon as he had adolescent, he resembled his dad. So she started picking him. She's the one that picked his head up initially. That's why, allegedly. I might be talking too much.
Nah, go ahead. Keep going. We loving this.
Yeah, but allegedly that's why he took Kim Porter out, because he has sex with his daughters, allegedly. The twins. The whole family has sex.
I can believe that too, because if he's out here raping women, he'd probably do it to his own kids. I mean, he's a pedophile, so that's what you would expect pedophiles to do. They're sick.
The same girl I was telling you about, that the Jane Doe, the 11 and 14-year-olds, the same girl he made strap Justin Bieber down, and she had to strap him down while Diddy and 2 of his sons took turns, and she had to sit there and watch, and Justin Bieber was crying and begging to be let up, and when she went to unloosen him, Diddy socked her in the face in front of Justin Bieber. So we trying to get with Justin because he would corroborate. Allegedly. Justin, get at me, Justin. We be confidential. We ain't got to tell the press, nobody. Holler at me, Justin. I'll put y'all together. She was there, you was there. I was already out of it. She told me that story, but Justin, I got you.
Damn. Also, you saying Diddy and Nelly was in bed together?
He's had a 3-son with Diddy and Nelly. Yeah, it's the same Jane Doe. This Jane Doe was around from 11 years old to about 15 years old. Had bore 2 kids. I'm not going to say which one she believe are hers, that he's been raising. You know what? On a side note, where is the white girl? Where's the white girl that he adopted?
I got asked about that today earlier in the interview. I think her name is Ava Plum.
Where is she? They said, the twins are staying with one of Kamara's friends, or Kim Porter, whoever. The son's been in New York and back and forth to LA. Where's the white girl that they was online bragging and proud that they saved her life and everything? Where is the white girl?
I think that was a joke. She still had her mom and stuff. Her name was Ava Baroni. I'm not saying he didn't molest her or anything like that, but I think that her mom was involved in all that stuff and that she was just a friend of the 2 little girls. I'm not saying that she wasn't molested or anything like that. I'm just telling you guys the backstory that I heard.
Girl.
She done disappeared.
Ava. Where's Ava? I'm going to call her the white girl. Shout out to my white people.
Exactly.
My mom's half white. I love white people. I'm white. It's white in me. Where's Ava? Everybody, can we do a campaign? Everybody, hashtag where's Ava?
Where's Ava? We need to get some shirts made too.
Right, where's Ava? Mask, all that. Booty shorts, we can twerk to it, all that. You know what I'm saying? I got some.
Look, she said she's not bragging about being able to twerk, but she was supposedly being victimized and all that. I'm sorry, I just don't see it. I don't see that she was victimized at these parties. She was looking at it like a job. And it kind of seems like she's looking at now talking about it like a job. And I'm not saying that she's lying about everything. Like I said, I believe a lot of what she said. I just don't believe she didn't know that this stuff was going to go down when she was there.
Man.
That's to be continued.
Boy, you done gave us some jaw-dropping information so far, man. This is whoa.
Like Black Rob. Shout out to Black Rob. Whoa.
Now tell us a little bit about how he ended up putting you with Jacob the Jeweler, and tell us how that Jacob the Jeweler story went down.
Yeah, so the first party I did, it was above board, you know, it was I networked. Excuse me, I saw everybody. I was there front line, like, you know, I was calling back home to the Cali people, like, hey, you'll never believe this, like, for real, like, and then next party, it was like, yeah, you want to rap, you want to sing, right? You dance at the club, right? He started out like he was pointing me in the right direction. Cause everybody's been to the strip club, and every girl that's been a stripper knows you love the guys that come in, and if they're not the ones spending money, they point you to their homeboy that is. Have you ever seen a bachelor party come in and they be like, it's not me, but get him. He's the one paying for everybody. So it was kind of like he did that. Like he took the mindset that I had of being a dancer, of like, while you at my parties, I'm gonna point you in the right direction. You take care of them and I'm gonna put you on. That's how I understood it. Coercion of the heart. And because I wanted to be on so bad, and he was actually real, Puffy. It wasn't like it was Puffy's assistant. It was like real Puffy saying it. I believed it. And I'm like, I had already been manipulated by Jake Steed and did, movies that got me nowhere. I was dancing at Larry Friend's Hustler Club only because me and Anthony Gallo had got robbed for everything, and it was go back to Cali broke with everybody laughing.
I believe that too. I believe she thought that he was going to put her on more so than he did. I can believe that. That's believable. So maybe it was some type of sexual assault by coercion because he was promising her things he didn't give her. That could be possible. I can believe that.
Or you start dancing. That's how I ended up starting to dance. I'm dancing. We have a nice lifestyle. We got a doorman building, you know what I mean? But Diddy said I just got to basically do the same thing I've already done that's got me nowhere and it's going to get me somewhere. Coercion of the heart. I was with it. But then as he kept adding on. So that night I was asked to wear a black dress at a white party, but I didn't think nothing of it. Like, he always supplied the uniform. That's another thing. In the Vibe magazine, let me go back to Vibe magazine real quick. I never signed a release. I wasn't paid anything. I didn't even know I was going to be in Vibe magazine. I woke up to Anthony getting a phone call from one of his model homeboys. Like, hey, your girl in Vibe magazine? Because back then, when a new story or a new campaign came out, it was on the newsstand and everybody went out to get it. It was an East Coast thing, because in Cali, we didn't do shit like that. Nobody rushed out to get the latest magazine, but in New York, they did that shit. So we had just had the night before, so we laying in the bed naked, and I wake up to him smushing my head in the pillow, like, what the fuck you doing in Vibe magazine? I'm like, what? I'm in Vibe magazine, like, what? He was like, yeah, Nelly just called. That's his homeboy Zanelle. Shout out to Zanelle. He went on doing a lot of stuff with Diddy, Zanelle, Figueroa, I don't know. Yeah. But he was like, yeah. So I'm like, what? He's like, so we got jumped up, put our clothes on, doorman opened up the door for us. Right there was a newsstand. Diddy's on the cover on the boxing gym, you know what I mean? Gloves or whatever. We opened up, flipped through it, and there I am. That picture that you see, big as day. I had no idea. That picture was taken in 2004. They didn't run a story to 2006. I had no idea that they put in there, Diddy supplied the clothing. Then they put the caption, guest strikes a revealing pose. I wasn't a guest. Who would I be a guest of? Who knew me? You know what I mean? The Mary J. Blige say, come on, Sheree. And then if I am a guest, the audacity of me thinking I could just come in some little ass go-go shorts and a bikini top to somebody's exclusive white party with all kind of millionaires, and I'm a guest of who? But I'm their guest, and I'm gonna just show up like that, not a nice elegant gown or nothing. I'm gonna just show up all hoochie mama. Nah, I was on his event staff, but that's how they got away with putting me in there without trying to give me no employee credit. Right. And then I found out later, another reason why they put me in the Vibe magazine is so all the guys who wanted extras would know who to look for at the parties and to laugh at me because they took advantage of me after they drugged me and I was unconscious. The Fed said, well,
that's believable because they were putting drugs in the drink. So I believe most of her story, just not the part where she didn't know anything was going to go down.
Allegedly. I'm not going to say. Someone said that when they did the raid, I'm on them tapes and there's multiple A-list celebrities running a train on me, including certain people that are presidential. No, we're not talking about, we're talking about Diddy. We're going to come back to that, LB. Stay with me.
All right, just in case she is trying to implicate Trump in it, I want to show you why it's probably not true. And I'm saying probably because I wasn't there. So, I mean, I think 100% sure it's not true. And this is why I think that. You can see that Diddy hated Trump and was fighting to make sure that Trump wasn't elected. If he really would have had dirt on Trump, he would have wanted Trump elected. If there was some tape of Trump running a train on that lady, that would be evidence that the FBI now has. So if the FBI has that evidence, why would they hold it back? They hate Donald Trump. So let's see what Diddy had to say about Donald Trump, and then we'll get back to the video.
White men like Trump need to be banished. The number one priority is to get Trump out of office. We're on the verge of a race war. We have no choice now to get Trump out of there. Saying you can say what you want about Biden.
They gave us Senator Harris as the VP. I mean, those are some of the things we were asking for. Black agenda could be way stronger.
Yes. Right now, let's stay focused on Trump. We are a people that have been abused the most. And we got to start biting their legs off.
That's right.
So you think if Trump would have been at that party freaking with that lady and he had video of it, that he wouldn't want Trump in office? He would use that as blackmail against Trump. When you have blackmail evidence against somebody, that's the person you want to end up taking power, because then you can blackmail them. That's the whole point of having the blackmail.
So we gotta, number one, Trump gotta go. If Trump gets elected, I really do believe in my heart there'll be a race war.
Biden's decision to pick Kamala Harris as his running mate.
It was a historic, beautiful day. You know, and just having 3 girls and having them be able to witness that is great. And at least we have, somebody that we could dialogue with, somebody that we could relate to. This is a new.
I'd also like to say thank God that Kamala lost, because she probably would have let this guy out of jail.
Negro. And that new Negro, that new black person is not scared, is not fearful. They're not afraid to die. They understand that this is life and that violence has to be an option. What will is let's get Trump out of office. If Trump's in office, there's going to be bloodshed.
Well, then you're going to have Trump's supporters who pissed off.
All right, that's enough. I just wanted to show you guys why I don't believe that Diddy had blackmail video on Donald Trump. If that stuff existed, Trump would be down already. You see, that's probably why he even wanted the videos. He was probably trying to get blackmail on all those celebrities. So you think if he had blackmail on the strongest man in the United States, he wouldn't have used it? Especially since he's sitting in jail. That's why I don't believe anything they're saying about Donald Trump. But the rest of this, I do believe. But I also want to point out, if somebody get caught lying, you really can't trust the rest of what they say usually. That's something I would say in court if I was the lawyer for the opposing side. But I'm not saying that she shouldn't be believed. What I'm saying is that she's making it hard for people to believe her.
Go any further till we get the result.
Man.
Hey, but anyway, once I found that out, I've been living my life for the last 20 years not knowing that had even happened to me. And now because
Damn.
they found out that I know that I'm on them tapes with them doing that to me, these are people that have smiled in my face since then. I had no idea that. But if there's a certain way the tape is going to come out, and there's a certain way that it never will. You got to stay tuned.
Did that scare you? Like, were you scared when the feds advised you that, there was some pretty high profile people doing some crazy things to you?
It angered me, actually, because, I went in, under the presumption that we were all working together to make the, event hot. And I was doing my part as a hired entertainer to bring my West Coast vibes and to make, the part. And I was always complimented. That's why I kept being invited back. When there was multiple, girls all around the city, all around the tri-state, you go up and down the East Coast, you can get a girl in from Boston, Connecticut, Jersey real quick. But they kept rehiring me because I made that shit hot. And I was, I was genuine, naive, and I was like a fan. And they played on it. I didn't realize how pretty I was. And they took advantage. And he likes to steal your light. He's an energy vampire. He steals your light. He takes a piece of you, and then he infuses the devil's seed in you from him, and puts a little evil from him into you that you can never take out of you. It's like soul ties. I want to be hypnotized, actually. I want to be hypnotized, and want y'all to tell me what I said and what I did while I was under.
Now, what you were telling me about Diddy, that kind of reminds me of that movie. I don't know if you ever seen it, Rosemary's Baby.
I never saw it. What happens in that?
Well, basically, this lady, man, this is back in the 60s. This is a really dope movie, though. But they move into this brand new apartment, and the husband's an actor. So in order for him to advance his career, he has to do demonic, satanic stuff in order to advance his career. So one of the things he sacrificed was his wife, and he allowed these demons and devils to impregnate his wife, so that way she could have the devil's baby.
And that's a lot, and that's what's going on within the Hollywood and the music industry, and that's why people are leaving the country and everything, because that's what they do, is practice in satanic and demonic activity. That's why when they're blessed with the highest status, the most money, the best cars, the best food, the best everything, they choose to spend their time on a daily basis doing evil, not doing good, not going around to the homeless shelters for single moms, the single mom shelters, and saying, I'm gonna pick 3 women who ride the bus every day, who got 3 kids or more. 3 kids, three women getting cars today. That's what I'm gonna do when I get my money. I'm gonna wake up and go to the women's shelter, and they say you have a good report and you ride the bus every day to get to work, and you paying your kids daycare and all that. You get a car. You get a car. You get a car. Just, I don't want no press. You won't even know I did it. I don't want to wake up every day doing shit like that. Fuck a Gucci bag. I don't need a bag to fix my teeth. My teeth already straight. I need a bag to fix my streets and to save souls. That's my goal. As I look back on it, now everything is coming out, I would almost say Jacob might be a victim himself, because he already did that time back then for helping laundering that money. That's not allegedly. He did time. So now he's back in a twist that involves, Diddy and his association, and his wife was there that night. And maybe Diddy set it all up and lined it all up so he can get footage on him to blackmail him, use me, have me thinking I'm gonna come out, you know what I mean? And maybe like Jacob is but it did go down. My dress was flipped up. They had me wear a black dress that night when everybody else was wearing white. They put Tamiko in the pink dress. She was the one passing all the money and doing all the back and forth, almost like a handler or a wrangler. And I got an extra $1,000 that night when I did the extras. That's when I thought, okay, if I just do the extras, like, eventually it's going to be an end to the rainbow and I'm going to be on.
So was it just $1,000 the whole night, or was it like $1,000 per person, or how did that work?
Yeah, I only got $500 to do the go-go dancing. So when it was above board, the first part, I just made $500 plus the experience, networking, all that. When I did the extras, I got my $500 plus $1,000.
So now she was getting paid to have sex with these guys. See, that's why I keep telling you guys, you got to pay attention to what these people say. Now, I believe Diddy is an animal. I believe he needs to be in jail. I believe he did pedophilia. I believe he did rape some people. But now she's saying it went from her being raped and drugged to her having sex for cash. Because now she's talking about she made $500 for go-go dancing, and then she would get $1,000 for the men that she slept with. So that means she was working as a prostitute.
Next party was, 3 niggas. And the next party was 7 niggas, and I still was only getting my 500, allegedly. You know what I'm saying?
So no extras, no extra 1,000 and any of that. It was just 500.
He was getting the extras, allegedly. They was shooting him the $100,000 chain. They were shooting him the keys to the yacht. They were shooting him the penthouse. They were shooting him the awards. While I was.
She just said she was getting $1,000 per extra. Now she didn't get paid for it. So she's flip-flopping on her story. But I'd still believe the parts about Diddy drugging people and raping the 11-year-old, all that's believable. The part that I really can't buy into is that she didn't know this stuff was going to go down before she got there. When she's saying that she went back and went back again and went back again, I just have trouble believing that she was a victim and not a willing participant. I'm going to just put it like that. I'm not saying that she participated in every aspect of it willingly, though. There might be aspects she didn't partake in willingly. But some of this was willing, in my eyes anyway. And then she tried throwing Donald Trump under the table, so I'm sure she got paid for that little clip too.
Sucking in the fucking allegedly.
Now, what was your boyfriend's reaction? Because was he at some of those events, or were you just there solo?
He went to a couple, but he wasn't privy, because I didn't tell him. I didn't want him to know I was doing that shit. But if he did know, Diddy and them had told him, and he would just, maybe he had a side deal, but he knew I was in the game. He knew I was a dancer. He knew I was networking. He knew if the money's there, go get it. But he wasn't like.
He knew she was screwing for money. This is another lie. She trying to make it seem like he didn't know. Where'd the money come from? He would know.
Pimping me or anything or saying, go get it, He was my boyfriend.
Now, with all this information.
She just said he might have had a side deal with Diddy. So how wouldn't that be pimping? If he was getting money when you were having sex and you didn't get the money, that would be pimping. These people try to get around the truth in every aspect.
That you putting out. Many people are wondering why would you come out with this information now versus.
Well, when I moved back after they jumped me in Harlem in December 2009, I had to move back abruptly to California. After Anthony Gallo was cheating on me with Rihanna and Megan Good and all his model bitches. After Diddy and all them had me jumped in Harlem. After I left Anthony and got my own spot in Harlem, they had me jump through my same Jane Doe I was telling you about. That actual Mark, Diddy's attorney, signed us out because she was in the mental hospital at the same time. And I heard, now that we're back like Voltron connecting, I'm finding out that Diddy's attorney, Mark, doped her up a gang of times because they took her off the country a gang of times, allegedly. But she about to pop out with her name in her lawsuit.
So as far as your legal proceedings, where are you at now with your lawsuit?
Right now, I'm in consultations with new legal. I have until December 11th to assign a new attorney to my case. I'm taking my time. I'm in consultations with very big, high-profile attorneys. I'm working on the settlement.
She said a new attorney. So that means her previous attorney probably left because they saw that they weren't going to get any money because of all this. Like all the conflicts in her stories. Her stories conflict with one another. So, I mean, if I was going to be an attorney, which I plan on doing eventually, I wouldn't take a client like that who can't stick to the story, because to me that makes it seem like there's some lies going on. If there's some lies, there might be some more. And the more lies you get caught up in court, the more likely that your case is to be thrown out. And nobody wants to take on a client knowing that this would be a frivolous lawsuit. Even though she probably was victimized at times, and I believe it, it would still be considered frivolous because there's no way to prove it because of all the conflicting stories that she's telling. So I just wouldn't want to take this case if I was an attorney.
So I can pop out with my new attorneys who help me settle. Because I already know as soon as the criminal starts in May of 2025, all civil cases are going to go on stay anyway. So I'm working on settling mine because I already know I'm going to be called into the criminal. So that's where I'm at with it. Everybody thinks that I'm in some type of disarray because I haven't popped out, or, it's been said that, my people, withdrew, and that, A withdrawal was because of a fire. You know, I don't want to talk. I don't want to give it too much attention, but somebody was being fired, and that's why they publicly withdrew to try to hurry up and save face and look like they left, because they were running around doing press and admissions that I had not made or authorized, and I'm the client. I can have as many or as little attorneys as I want, and if I feel like I'm being ignored or not paid attention to, and I want to hire additional representation, that's my prerogative. That is not for somebody to control me and tell me.
If you hire additional attorneys, they just come on as part of the team. You don't get rid of an attorney to bring somebody else on to help. That, like I said, what she said, a lot of this stuff just doesn't go together. That attorney probably withdrew because there wasn't anything left for them to do in the case. They don't think they're gonna get paid because their story keeps changing. Like, even from sentence to sentence at times, or paragraph to paragraph. Like she said, oh, I got paid $1,000 extra for each guy that she did extra with, or whatever she was calling it. She was saying it was extra. She was really there to strip. So it was $1,000 for each extra person that she was with. So then when the guy asked her, oh, so you were getting paid to sleep with these guys? And she said, well, it might have been going to my boyfriend, or Diddy might have just kept the money. So then how did she know about it? You see what I'm saying? This is something a lawyer wouldn't want to have to be covering up in court. Now, I'm not saying that there's not truth to what she's saying. Like I said, there's a lot of things I think she's saying that are true. Like, I think she knows something about Bieber being molested. I think she knows something about that 11-year-old girl who was naked on that table and who was later raped, and there was pictures of her with Diddy. Those are all very believable stories. It's just the stories where she claims that she got paid for this type of stuff, which I think she probably did, and then tries to backtrack on it and say, well, I didn't get paid, but somebody did. That doesn't make sense. You wouldn't have knew about it.
I can't and run around doing press that they're not even letting me do. We're not even doing press together. So, yeah, just let that go. And now I got my own legal strategy. And worst case scenario, I go in there and represent my damn self, because the press alone will be great. I don't care if I win or lose, because I've been rich. My daddy just died.
There it goes. She don't care if she win or lose. She just wants the press. She just wants her face on TV. She wants people to see her. She wants to become a celebrity. And the sad part about all that is, that's how she got in this situation anyway. She was out there in California doing pornos. She blames that on her ex-boyfriend. That could be true. That it's his fault. I don't know. She said he was pimping her or something. Then her new boyfriend, it was his fault that she got involved in Diddy, or she got involved with Sean Combs through her ex-boyfriend. But either way it goes, she doesn't take any of the blame for herself or say, yeah, I made a bad decision and I did this. It's always somebody else's fault. Somebody else. I'm just saying that's probably why the lawyers dropped her.
Died, LAPD. I got an inheritance.
That's what's up.
Imagine me in court. Imagine me in federal court representing myself, LB. I'll just have you there. LB, I need you to cover it, LB. You know, have some shits and giggles on the gang. Mustard on that beat, huh?
I got you. Yeah.
Hey, tell DJ Mustard to call me, because I want them to bring me out February 2025 in New Orleans on stage when Kendrick's performing West Coast We Up. Just let me say, mustard on that beat, huh?
I don't know if this is a rumor, or if this is something that was just on the internet. You were married to Al B. Shore's son, or no?
No, Quincy. We're flirting right now. We met and we're fancying each other. And what better way to get at his daddy, who killed his mother allegedly, than to date the woman that's about to take all his money?
Pause. Now, earlier in the show, she said that Diddy's kids raped that 11-year-old, and now she's trying to date one of Diddy's kids, or a kid that Diddy raised. Maybe it's Al B. Shore's kids, but they were raised by Diddy, and she said, oh yeah, that's how I'm trying to get at Diddy, by sleeping with his kids. This is just deviant. Everything about this show has been deviant so far.
He's gonna have a relationship with Quincy. You know Quincy loves Mr. Combs, man. How that's gonna work?
He trapped in the middle, and he been doped up his whole life. Imagine if you've been getting dope out the bottle. Allegedly.
All right, thank you so much, man, for coming on the Lionel B Show, man. You gave us so much
Man, I
information
love
out there.
you. I love
Anything
you.
else you want to add to the viewers?
I mean, I love Lionel B. I was already a fan. I appreciate you taking the time and acknowledging me and popping me out. I look forward to more interviews as we go through the trial. I'll give you some exclusives.
Sheesh. Now, guys, she definitely didn't hold anything back. Already promised you guys an exclusive. And guys, we did it. We got one of Diddy's actual accusers on the channel. So I definitely hope y'all enjoyed this interview.
All right, well, there it was, guys. I'm going to do another show on Diddy, the Diddler. I'm going to do another show right after this one. In fact, it'll probably come out either tomorrow or Wednesday. So I'm going to start working on that. And I just want to say, man, that was an interesting story. I'm glad I got the information. I'm glad I got to look at it. And I'm glad I got to break it down a little bit for you guys. Like I said, I'm not a lawyer right now, but I'm in law school and I actually do represent myself in federal court. I've done it twice, so it's possible for people to represent themselves in federal court. I'm just saying with what she was saying, it's too many contradicting statements, and that's why the lawyers dropped her. I'm not saying that some of the things she was saying isn't true. I think most of what she was saying is true, except for the parts where she's either saying she didn't get paid or acting like she didn't have a deal where she was supposed to get paid. But I mean, at the end of the day, if we listen to what she was saying, she was at those parties prostituting herself, pretty much. She was a dancer. That's what she was hired to be there for. And then they would say, hey, we'll give you extra money if you sleep with this man or that man. And then she walked that back and said, no, maybe they were giving my boyfriend the money. I didn't get any money. Then she went and knew how much money they were getting if she didn't receive any money. Anyway, guys, this was the Mansplaining Mike Show. I'm Mansplaining Mike. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this with some sissy liberal who'll cry about it all damn day. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.